So year 8 we are doing 8.10, which is factorising, and that's the last exercise we have to do. And factorising is actually the opposite of expanding, which is what we did last lesson. I've written that here. It'd be good for you to write that too. So this lesson we want to actually create brackets, whereas last lesson we wanted to get rid of them. All right, let's have a look. So to be able to do this, we have to remember about highest common factors. And highest common factors, we know that factors are numbers that go into both or more than two. If there's two, then both of those numbers. And to factorise, we're looking for the highest number that goes into both. So what's the highest number that goes into 6 and 9? Well, in 6 we have 1, 2, 3. What else goes into 6? 6 does. And in 9 we have 1, 2, 3. 2 doesn't go in. 1, 3, and 9. What's the highest number that is in both of those lists? And you should see that it is 3. Now, I'm going to keep writing out some factors, but you don't have to do this for the next one. You can listen or you can have a go yourself. So the common factors for 12 are 1, and I like to do it this way if I'm no good at it. 1 times 12. What's the next number? 2, that goes in. So 2 times 6. And then the next number is 3. Well, that goes in. 3 times 4. So there's my list. Now in 18 we have 1 and 18. And we have 2 and 9. 3 also goes into 18, 6 times. 4 doesn't and 5 doesn't. And now we're up to 6. So if we have a look at those lists, where's the number that's the highest? So come down from here, 18, no, 9, no. Oh, look, there, 6. Okay, now you do not have to write that list out. I've just done that for you so you can recall what that is. So sometimes we might have a letter in there. The highest common factor, it means the letter has to be in both if you pull it out as a highest common factor. So X doesn't go into this one. So X is not part of our highest common factor. So now we're just looking at the 5 and the 10. What's the highest number that goes into both of those? It is 5. So that's our highest common factor for that one. All right, let me pull my sheet down a little bit. Now, you're welcome to go ahead if you think you know what I'm doing here. So now we're going to do these separately. We're going to do the numbers first. So the highest number that goes into 3 and 6 is 3. And are there any matching pronumerals? Yes, there are. There's an M that matches in both. We can't take the N out because there's no N in here. We can't take the P out because there's no P over here. So the highest common factor, does it go into there? Yes. Does it go into there? Yes. So our highest common factor in this circumstance is 3M. Let's keep doing that the same way. So we're going to do our numbers first. Now, if you want to write a list, you can write a list and press pause and come back and see if you've got it right. So the highest common factor of 24 and 36, well, 6 goes into both of them. And that's okay, but when we want to do this, we want to take out the highest one. So if there's a bigger number, we need to use it. And in fact, there is, and the number is 12. We have an FG and a GH. Are there any letters repeating? Yes, there are. There's a G, so we're going to put a G in. All right, so that's what we need to recall from finding highest common factor so that we can do these questions. So the first thing we want to do is we want to take the highest common factor out the front. So thinking about what we just did, 2y and 4. So it's not going to be a y because there's no y anywhere else. We're looking at 2 and 4. The highest number that goes into both of those is 2. So we put a 2 and then we put a bracket. And now we want to say to ourselves, 2 times what makes 2y? Well, 2 times y makes 2y. Then we're going to put down the sign. In this case, it's a plus. 2 times what makes 4. 2 times 2 makes 4. All right, next one. So, highest number that goes into 12 and 18. So 4 does. Is it the highest number? Hopefully no. I hear you say it's 6. Is there any letters that match? No, there aren't, so we put our bracket down straight away. All right, let's see. How do we get from 6 to 12E? So do the numbers first. 6 times what makes 12? 6 times 2 makes 12. But we have an E as well, so we need to put that down. So let's go backwards. 6 times 2E. 6 2s are 12. 12E. So we've got it right. We're going to minus this time, so don't always put plus. Make sure you read what it is. 6 times what makes 18? It's 6 times 3. All right, what about this one? There's no matching numbers. Well, that just means we can't put a number out the front. There is a, that's a 6. So I'm lying. Sorry, that's a 6. I was thinking it was a B. So we are looking at numbers. So what's the highest number that goes into both of those? It's 2. Now, 2 times what makes 2B? So do the numbers first. 2 times what makes 4? It's 2. And we've also got a B, so we need to put that B down. Have a check. 2 times 2B is 4B. Minus 2 times what makes 3? Sorry, 2 times what makes 6? 2 times 3 makes 6. All right, have a go at number 9 by yourself. All right, so we have an X and a Y. They're not corresponding, so they're going to both end up in the bracket. The number, again, is the only thing we can take out. So hopefully you got 2 bracket X plus 3Y. All right, this time you will see, let's do numbers first. What goes into 16 and also goes into 2? 2. 2 times, oh, I put a bracket. I probably shouldn't have. Let's look at the letters. I have a JK and a K. So what matches both? K matches both. So out the front we're going to have 2K. Now 2K times what makes 16JK? Sounds a little bit wordy, so let's just do it separately. Do the numbers. 2 times what number gives 16? It's 2 times 8. K times what gives JK? J. Now we can test it. 2K times 8J. 2 times 8 is 16. KJ is KJ. 16KJ is the same as 16JK. All right, then I have a minus. 2K times what makes 2K? Now, don't just leave it, because you do need to multiply it by something, and it's going to be 1 in this case. Try 11 by yourself. Okay, so having a look, 5 goes into both of them, so it's 5. Take out the A. 5A times what makes 5A? 5A times 1. Put down the minus. 5 times what makes 15? 5 times 3. Taking out the A already, we've still got a BC sitting there. All right, let's have a look here. So we're going to look at numbers 12, 4, and 3. Now, one number has to go into all of those. Is there a number that goes into all of those? If it was just that, there would be. It would be 4. But it's got to go into every single piece. And there's no number that goes into 12 and 4 and 3. So we can't put a number out the front. Can we put a letter? AC, C, DC. Is there one that goes into all of those? Yes, it is C. So C times what makes 12AC? 12A. Put down your minus. C times what makes 4C? 4. Plus C times what makes 3DC? It's going to be 3D. All right, why don't you have a go at the last one by yourselves? I think there's a number that goes into all of these. All right, hopefully you got 3p bracket 1 plus 9q plus 2. And then you will see that at the beginning, we could have made them like terms because they're actually, we could have added them because they're like terms. So that is why this is 1 and this is 2. So your answer, in fact, is 1 plus 2, 3 plus 9q. Now, I don't know if there's a question like that in the book or if I just made that up. But, yeah, you could have put 3p plus 6p at the start becomes 9p. Or if you see in the brackets you've got any like terms, then you can add them together. All right, so you're up to 8.10. I would suggest that most of you would be able to do that in this lesson. And then your work from there on is to go on to the chapter review. Now, don't go to the review if you need help with any of these. Come back into the chat, please, and let me know. All right, so press pause to write those down. And these are review questions. Oh, review. So it's 1 left-hand side. Now I'm going to get rid of that one so the rest fit on. And 2 all together. And then the rest of those questions. This says 19 right down the bottom.